Welcome to this week's episode of Young Monarchs, a motivational podcast where boss babes like you can learn, live, and thrive off of each other through the stories of my journey and other young monarchs along the way. We're on our grind and living life unapologetically. I'm your host, Tiara, Miss Tiara XO on Instagram. Now let's get into it. Hey boos, welcome to episode 12 of the Young Monarchs podcast. I am your lovely host, Tiara, Miss Tiara XO on Instagram, and I am so excited that you guys have joined me today. This is a special episode because this is the first episode where I actually have the YouTube channel all together. So everybody listening to the podcast can also start watching the podcast on YouTube at Young Monarchs Podcast. And I'll have the links in our Instagram and everything for you guys to check out and just see how I'm liking it. This is the first time I'm recording the episode and recording the video at the same time. And it's a solo episode, so we're playing with it. As always, I record in my home or my patio. So today I'm just kicking it on my couch and doing this video and checking out and seeing how it goes. I'm really excited that you guys have tuned in today because it has been 2 long weeks since my last episode with my friend Dwayna, where we talked about everything that goes into being a woman entrepreneur. So I'm really excited because I got a lot of support on that last episode. So I'm just going to keep it going. But today we're just going to pretty much do a catch up because I've had so much going on in these past 2 weeks. I just haven't had a moment to just stop and record an episode for you guys. And I do apologize about that because I said I was going to be consistent and I am going to be consistent. And everything we're going to talk about today has to do with this new setup I have, the YouTube that's going along with the podcast, and everything that I'm working on right now. I've definitely been just kicking fierce ass from the first episode to now. It's all been pretty much 2020 and everything that we're going for, everything that I'm going for, everything that I'm trying to do. And these past 2 weeks, I've kind of been fully drowned in doing this because we just had a lot going on. So we're going to go ahead and get into the boss shit of this week. And on this week's boss shit, I'm pretty much going to be sharing my stories of everything of me kicking fierce ass in the past 2 weeks. So during the boss shit segment, I share real life stories from women all around the world who are either making things happen, doing crazy things that we just need to know about, or any woman who is all around just killing it in what she's doing. And this week's boss shit is going to be our pretty much kick off our catch up because I have been kicking fierce ass when it comes to following my passions. You guys already know one of my major goals for 2020 was pretty much pushing through any fear that I had and going towards all the things I wanting to do modeling wise. And that is what I've been doing. So my Q1 goal was to get all of my portfolio done and to get my comp cards that I'll take with me to all the castings that I go to done. And I needed to get some headshots and just pretty much do some shoots to put that portfolio together and get those comp cards created. And that is what I did the weekend before my birthday. We have so much to catch up on because I have not told you about my birthday, this modeling thing, or anything else I've been doing. But to start it off, I did the 2 photo shoots 2 weeks ago to get my portfolio together and to have those comp cards ready to go because I really wanted to start going to modeling castings in April and in May and for the rest of the summer. So I did 2 photo shoots. One photo shoot was with one of my boyfriend's friends that he met. I'm going to link him in the YouTube, and I'm also probably going to link him in the, he's already on the Instagram for Young Monarchs and my Instagram, so you'll be able to check out both photographers that I worked with. But the first guy I worked with, his name was Nori. We went to Pond City Market, and we pretty much just kind of did like a edgy black and white shoot outside. up against some of the artwork that they have out there. And those pictures came out really good. That was my very, very, very first time doing any type of professional photo shoot. So my face was like a little stiff. I didn't really know what to do with my mouth or my hands, but it was really fun. I was a little nervous, like when people were walking around watching me. Um, some people was like whistling and be like, "Yeah, girl," and I was like, "Yeah, we out here doing it." But it was really fun to have that first experience, and literally right after that, we went a little bit deeper in the city and went to a Cam Kirk Studios in Atlanta where we worked with where I got to sorry guys, where I got to work with a photographer named Genesis who's really, really dope. I followed her on Instagram for a long time, and all the pictures that she was taking was amazing. So I really wanted her to do the photos that went in my portfolio because they're going to be printed. I'm going to be using them pretty much a majority of the time till I start getting jobs, and I really wanted to work with her. That was really interesting experience because I knew that I was going to be shooting in a studio, but I didn't know like what the studio would be like. I didn't know if I would be like just me and her or the people going to be there. When I got there, it was other people there and Lucky Teat. It was pretty much all men there. I came to the photo shoot with my boyfriend. He was pretty much just kind of being my support and my gas for the evening. But I did the photo shoot in an all black one piece, not all black one piece, all black bodysuit and some high waist pants. And then I took the high waist pants off and just did some in the one piece bodysuit. So it was a little awkward with guys being around, but I just kind of tried to zone them out as much as I could. And that photo shoot was really nice. The pictures came out really good. I'm excited to get them printed. And I'm excited that those will be some of the first pictures I go into my portfolio. And pretty much those are my very first two shoots. So to prepare for those shoots, I watched YouTube videos of models and seeing what they do as far as what to do with their hands, what kind of makeup do they do for themselves when they're just going for like casting calls or test shoots. I was on Pinterest. I put together like mood boards to see what kind of vibe and what kind of looks I wanted to do for the photo shoot. And I was really trying to stay more classic and somewhat traditional. And I do have like a really pop of color background in some of those pictures. So I was really trying to get something eye grasping. Eye grasping, eye catching for people like going through my portfolio or when I submit to different agencies, they can see something that's like just a strong image. I wasn't trying to be like sexy. I wish I would have taken some smiley pictures because that's really where um, I feel like, in my personal opinion, my beauty comes from the most when I smile. It kind of brightens up my whole face. So I am going to do another shoot, and my actual headshot pictures will be those smiley images. So I'm really excited about those pictures. I'm not fully putting those pictures online, but there are a couple of them on my Instagram. My Instagram is at Miss Tiara XO if you don't know yet. But I was really excited to do it. I was really nervous because my body type, I'm not a plus size model, and I'm not, I guess, a standard normal size model. So I'm somewhere in between, and I needed to, from what I researched, this is not what any modeling professional told me, but from what I researched, I needed to be either in a plus size range or I need to be like in a fit range for my body type. So I'm going for more curvy models, like fit curvy. So I was in the gym 4 times a week. I haven't gone this week, which we'll talk about it because this corona is out here and I do not know how I feel about just gyms. Even though I'm pretty clean, we're going to see what's going on in the world. But I was working out 4 days a week. I was making sure I was not eating like super, super clean at all. I was just watching what I ate. Leading up to the photo shoot, I wasn't drinking any, I like juice, but I wasn't drinking a ton of juice. I wasn't drinking any soda, mainly water, vegetables with every meal, light lunches, smoothies for breakfast, and I just worked out. I'm still working out because I still have 23 pounds to lose, so I get to my final goal, which I'm super, super excited because I've been working out for like 3 years now, and I'm not 3 years, that's a lie. I've been working out like for real, since November or December. But I've been working out, like deciding to work out and wanting to lose all the extra weight that I had for maybe like a year and a half. So I'm finally glad I'm almost to my goal, and then I'm just going to live my best life and continue to uphold the health. First topic I wanted to talk about today was pretty much that God is helping me put myself out there. One of the things that I want to do this year, like with the podcast, with modeling, and going for everything that I'm interested in, I definitely struggle with putting myself out there. I definitely struggle with like just going to an event or just like saying I want to take charge in this or that. But God has been like forcing me to do it, and I really appreciate it because something that happened the day of my birthday. My birthday was the 3rd of March. So I was asked to do an interview for my job. Y'all know I work for a creative marketing agency and we're a production studio. So for International Women's Day and Women's History Month, they're putting together a video of women in the office that are pretty much fierce women who are doing their thing and what they do. And I was asked to be in the video and I was super excited. I didn't know. Y'all, like, lately I've just been being myself. Like, if I'm at work, if I'm home, if I'm around strangers, whomever it is, I've just been being myself. And to see that at my job, since I started, I really like took that initiative to not try to change who I was for anyone around me and just pretty much doing what I want to do and saying like what I want to do and saying how I feel. I love that they asked me to be a part of the video because it just kind of reinforces that like that need for authenticity and how people see that and are attracted to you just for who you are no matter what. So I was really excited that they asked me to be a part of it. And when I was recording the video, one of my friends, Kayla, who's actually on the first episode of Young Monarch, where we talked about her pretty much getting into production, from going from marketing to production, and kind of how being a producer is her dream. And she is doing amazing because she just got promoted at work to be a producer. So yay at Kayla. And if y'all haven't checked that out, go back to episode 1 because she talks about everything that inspires her, what she wants to do in the film industry, and just kind of where she gets that oomph and that power to like keep going for what she wanted to do. So when I was doing my interview, she was there listening and making sure all the sound and the video was going good. And she noticed like halfway through the video, I was starting to get nervous. Like my voice was starting to shake and I was getting that like jumpy feeling. And she was like, okay, hold on guys, we got to stop the video real quick. And she was like, okay, Tiara, relax. You're not saying what I know that you would want to say to this question because she knows everything about the podcast, a ton about me. And she was like, just 1 second, just stop and just breathe. And we did like pretty much what I need to do right now. We did a woo-saw like twice. And then I went back into the interview and it went pretty smooth after that. And I was really happy that she was there because it felt good I don't know, it just kind of felt good that she was there and she was kind of like reading my vibe and was able to like help me calm down because she is like definitely a calming friend in my life. So it was really nice that she noticed that about me. And instead of, because I wasn't going to stop to like take that breath while they were recording. So I really appreciated that she did that for me. And I'm really excited to see how the video comes out. I think it will be posted on my job's Instagram like next week. So I'll probably share it on the Young Monarchs page or my Instagram when it comes out. But I was really excited because I got to share the importance of women being in the creative space. Especially, I talked about how, especially women of color being in the creative industry, and just knowing that there's so many different jobs in the creative industry where a woman can fit and grow and pretty much thrive doing whatever they were doing. So I talked about how I went from, being on the account team to now I'm in sales marketing. But I really enjoyed it and it was really fun. So another thing I talked about in the interview was pretty much feeling like you belong in the room. So this week's Get Your Head in the Game is from an interview that's on Cityline, which is one of the most long-standing successful daytime shows for women in North America. And this episode of Cityline had sexologist and intimacy expert Shannon Boudrim, and she shares the importance of feeling like you belong in the room.
So we want to talk about actionable steps that we might be able to take to feel like we should be in this space and to own it.
Yes.
What would you say?
This is my in my space and owning it skirt.
It really
I'm taking up space today.
You are not going to you're not going to fade into the background in this skirt. As a matter of fact, can you just stand up so we can just we really actually need to see this skirt? That's not for a shy girl that doesn't belong here. So you're taking up space. The first step to that is what?
Getting over the imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
So acknowledging that if you are in a room, you belong in that room. And I use this analogy of, when you go shopping and you go to a store that you go all the time, think about how you behave in that store. You look at things, you talk to your girlfriend really loud, you try stuff on, you have fun and you play.
Yes.
Not when you go to an expensive store and all of a sudden you feel like, do I belong here? You're trying to sneak look at the price tags, you don't want to make too much attention to yourself, but you're there. You're there because you're ready to play, you're ready to buy. And so if you are in a room and you start to get that feeling that like, should I be here? Girl, you're there.
Yes.
So getting over that imposter syndrome is really, really, really difficult, but also incredibly crucial.
Think about this even, it's not even not even just in a relationship, but I mean even going to a party. You go to a party sometimes and you think maybe I shouldn't have been invited, like I'm out of my league here. And that was my experience when I first walked into a newsroom.
Yes.
I felt immediately mediocre. People here must be smarter than me. I don't really belong here. Not sure how I landed here. And that sort of stymied my growth for several months before I snapped out of it. So you say we need to sort of take some guidance from the Queen, Beyonce.
Yes.
What does she say about all of this? She takes up some space.
I was actually on a TV show. I live in California there, and I had a guest say some really mean things about me afterwards. And I just, in that moment, felt exactly how you felt in that newsroom. She's right. I don't belong here. I'm not good enough. And then I listened to the Beyonce album, as one does when they're feeling down, and she really just talked about step out of your estimate. I know that you aren't supposed to be there because you've gone beyond what your parents may have or what people expected you to, but you're there. Step out of that estimate and own that space. Step in your essence and know that you're excellent. I'm about to cry. Listen to Queen Bee right now.
Gosh, yeah.
But yeah, just that notion of, it's okay. I know that people are going to have questions. People are going to wonder why you're there. And for a lot of women, we're showing up in a lot of spaces we didn't before.
Yeah.
And that's shocking to people.
Yes.
And so acknowledging there's going to be questions, but you got answers.
You have answers. Not that you ever have to justify it to anyone else, but maybe to yourself from time to time, that this is why I'm here. What went through your mind when this person said these mean things about you? Because what I find about myself is when I'm in a situation and someone says something off color, offhand, a little bit of a diss, a little bit of a jab, I'm not a comeback queen. Like, I don't have that thing. I go back home and think of all the things I should have said. And then, like, how do I manufacture this conversation again so I can say those comebacks? It's never going to happen, Tracy. So what did you do? Did you take a moment? Did you clap back immediately? Like, how do you deal with that?
I guess I had the benefit or not so benefit of I didn't see the segment until it aired, 2 days later.
Okay.
And that's when I looked and I believed her at first. I believed it. I was like, wow, maybe she's right. And I heard people in the audience affirm, kind of laugh along. And so it really hurt. But then I was like, no, Beyonce's right, not her, right? Like I have a valid space in being here. And I also acknowledge too, I don't mind answering the questions because I think about the people coming after me. When I answer questions and I prove my space and I'm proud to be there, the next time you see someone like me or see a woman in my position, you're going to be like, oh, I remember there's another girl just like her and she was deserved to be there. So let me ask less questions of the next person.
So on top of all of the birthday stuff we did, I also turned 27. And 27, I don't have any feelings that's closer to 30 where it's like, I'm running out of time, I'm not figuring things out. But I'm excited because I'm decided to just dedicate the next 3 years to establish, pretty much continue doing what I was planning on doing anyways, as in like establishing myself and everything that I want to pursue and go after. So I've been doing things like brainstorms around all the different ways I can generate income, all the different ways I can connect with people or create my services or have services to offer, something that I've been working on. And then I definitely want to work on just more content with everything, with the podcast, from getting all the modeling things together, podcast to marketing, and everything I'm working on outside of those, and just really dedicating all that time to focusing on podcasts, focusing on things I have going on, and just continuing to grow and continuing to do awesome things. So now we're going to do the Get Your Life segment, and during this segment, we share one thing that is going well in our journey, and then one thing that we're still struggling with. So for this week and everything that was talked about with planning for the creating the modeling portfolio, to doing the photo shoots, the interview at work. One thing that's been going well for me is not being afraid of having new experiences. I've been more so enjoying like doing the photo shoots, doing the interviews. Even though they're like nervousness, is still like something I'm still doing. So that's something that's definitely been going well for me. One thing I'm still struggling with is the self acceptance part and not being so hard on myself, like when I'm getting pictures back or when I was in between the photo shoots. I noticed saying like, "Oh, this doesn't look good," or "This doesn't look good," but more so just enjoying the experience and just seeing what comes from it instead of being so judgy on how it looks and how it currently feels, instead of just doing it and seeing what happens. For this week's Motivational Tee, I just wanted to share to continue to push through your fears. Anything that you're apprehensive about, anything that you're not sure if you want to do or you'd be good at, to just try everything once and enjoy it, to see what happens from it, what comes of it. And I'm enjoying it, so I'm saying that is something to definitely go after with anything that you're trying, anything that you're wanting to do. If it's something that you're thinking of, something that you see you can be very good at, to just try it and keep pushing through. Try it again, try it, and keep trying things until something works for you. If you're trying something and you're realizing it's not working, assess what you're doing. Like, write it out if you have to. Figure out what can you do differently or what can you do more or less of to get to the same goal that you're trying to get to. But thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode. And for everybody watching on YouTube, thank you for watching this episode. I am going to upload episodes 1 through 11 on YouTube. Obviously, they won't have any video to go with them, but this one will, and all episodes moving forward will. Hopefully, it'll just depend on if the guests want to be on video or not. But every episode will now be on all of the platforms, YouTube. We have the Instagram, Facebook, and we're just still building and growing. So check us out on YouTube at the Young Monarchs podcast. I'll have that linked, probably in the link on the Instagram. But make sure you guys are sharing the podcast. If you like it, share the episode on your story with your friends. If you have any motivational tea, if you ever have any feedback or any stories you want to share or questions you want to ask, hit us up on the Instagram _Young Monarch on Instagram, or my Instagram is Tiara. You reach out on either one and I'll answer your questions. I'll share your motivational teas during our next episode and all kinds of great things. But I wanted to thank you guys so much for tuning into another episode. Next week's episode is going to be extremely good and hopefully goes well. I think it'll go really well. Next week's episode is about friendship, and I'll be sharing the story of pretty much when I lost all of my girlfriends at one time. And one of those girls are coming next week, and she's going to be on the episode. And we're pretty much going to talk about friendship, our friendship in general, and how it grows over time through sharing the experience of how I lost all my friends at one time. But I'm glad you guys tuned in for this episode. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you share, follow, do all the things to keep in tune, and I'll see you next week. Bye. Love this episode of Young Monarchs? Make sure you follow and subscribe to take this journey with us. Follow us on Instagram @_Young Monarch to stay up to date on the latest episodes, bonus content, and more.